Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this edition of Good Evening, New Hampshire. Let's begin with your local news. First up, Pamela Smart asks governor to commute life sentence. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
And we do have breaking news tonight at 6 o'clock. Pamela Smart is petitioning the governor and executive council to commute her life sentence to give her a chance at parole. Good evening, I'm Tom Griffith.
And I'm Jennifer Vaughn. News 9 has exclusive access to the legal documents just submitted, including a letter from Pam Smart to Governor Chris Sununu.
WMUR's Gene Mackin joins us live for a first look at that petition, Gene.
And here are all of the documents. Pam Smart has exhausted all other legal options. Now she and her legal team say a lot has changed since she was sent to prison for her role in the murder of her husband, including everyone else involved being released. The 695-page petition for commutation of Pam Smart's sentence starts with a letter to Governor Chris Sununu signed by Pamela Smart. She writes, "Dear Governor Sununu, I am writing to humbly request your mercy and compassion. Without executive intervention, I will die in prison." She is not looking for a pardon.
Not looking for a pardon, not looking to be declared innocent.
Pam Smart's attorney, Robert Useum, says the governor and executive council are not being asked to change the verdict but the sentence, so she has a chance to go before a parole board. She is serving life without the possibility of parole in a New York State prison, the mandatory sentence when found guilty of accomplice to murder 28 years ago.
She is charged and convicted of being an accomplice, and she's in for life. To put it another way, she's sentenced to die in prison.
In the letter to the governor, she says, "When I was 22 years old, I made the worst mistake of my life," telling the governor what she told us in 2 prison interviews, that her mistake was becoming romantically involved with Bill Flynn. She writes, "I never wanted nor asked Mr. Flynn to murder Greg." On the stand, Billy Flynn told the court he was responsible for shooting Pam Smart's husband inside their Derry condo in 1990.
I pulled the trigger.
He was a 16-year-old student. She was the director of media services in the school district. All 14 boys convicted for their roles have been released. Billy Flynn in 2015 after serving 25 years. In her letter to the governor, Pam Smart writes, "The 2 people who forced Greg to his knees when I was not there and stood over him as he was shot are now both free on parole, as are others who played a role." Her legal team calls her sentence grossly disproportionate and says jurors cried after learning the sentence was mandatory life without parole. The filing lists thousands of petition signatures, hundreds of letters of support. Pam Smart tells the governor, "I am praying that you withhold judgment until you and the executive counselors read my pleas, and that mercy, compassion, and fairness will guide your decision." The legal team is asking the governor and executive council to consider this request, even though an 88-page response the Attorney General's office has previously recommended against a sentence reduction, tonight saying it stands by that response. The governor just told News 9 he will follow the same process as they would for anybody filing for commutation. On News 9 tonight, you'll see more of the letter from Pam Smart to the governor and the high-profile people also writing in support. Live in studio, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Northfield home burglary caught on surveillance video, police say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jennifer Crompton.
Hi, I'm Lane Gregoire.
And I'm Logan Gregoire.
Country Camper is family owned and operated.
Kim Robichaux and her husband unnerved. Video from their home security system showing someone getting inside their Northfield home not once but twice overnight.
To think that someone broke in, one with our doors locked, yeah, it leaves a real pit in your stomach.
At 2 a.m., the suspect gains entry through a family room door, stopped from going further by a hook on the other side of an interior door.
The suspect actually left their house and went over the hill, breaking into other houses here, including that neighbor's, where he stole money out of a wallet inside the kitchen. Then he came back and tried to break in here through another door.
At 4:30 a.m., the suspect is on their sun porch, trying to get into the locked door that leads to the kitchen, just feet from their bedroom.
He did take off a glove and pull something out of his pocket, whether it was a credit card or some sort of a device trying to get into this door. You can see, you know, him putting stress on the door, and then that's when the dog barked.
The bark waking them up and scaring the intruder away.
If he had gotten into the main part of the house, if we didn't have the dog that alerted us, I don't know what would have happened.
Police say the suspect is about 5'6", is wearing a dark hoodie with sneakers and black laces, jeans with black X's on the back pocket, and an Under Armour backpack. They're investigating at least 2 home and 4 vehicle break-ins overnight, money taken, but fortunately no encounters.
This is our hero of the day that alerted Mommy and Daddy to someone being in the sun porch. Huh, sweet girl?
In Northfield, Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sanders, Harris, hard to find in New Hampshire as other candidates work to stand out. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
GMI Asphalt is currently accepting job applications to join our team. We have an aggressive pay scale, health insurance benefits. Both men and women are urged to contact the office of GMI Asphalt or visit us on the web at gmiasphalt.com.
When Kamala Harris visited Portsmouth in February, she drew an impressive overflow crowd to South Church. As far as first campaign visits go, it made a clear statement about her potential base of support here.
I will be back, and I will be back a lot.
But almost 2 months later, she hasn't been back. And neither has another top contender, Bernie Sanders, who did a pair of rallies on one day in early March and departed to what so far has been a more nationally focused campaign. When Sanders last spoke to News 9 7 weeks ago by phone, he said New Hampshire was where his policy ideas first gained traction with Democrats in 2016.
Well, it goes without saying that New Hampshire is enormously important.
While Sanders and Harris have spent their time elsewhere, others have stacked up the visits, meeting regularly with first-in-the-nation voters. Cory Booker just locked down the first endorsement from a New Hampshire state senator. Elizabeth Warren seems to be following up almost every one of her big policy rollouts with a trip to the Granite State. Kirsten Gillibrand, Julian Castro, and Tulsi Gabbard are campaign trail regulars here. And it's going to take a lot of work for any candidate to catch up to John Delaney on the sheer number of visits. Even Beto O'Rourke, on a 3-day whirlwind tour, managed to campaign in all 10 New Hampshire counties. And when it comes to buzz, Pete Buttigieg and Andrew Yang are connecting with a next-generation appeal.
The shorthand to everything I just said is that there's an Asian man running for president who wants to give everyone $1,000 a month.
While the fundraising and poll numbers show Harris and Sanders have the luxury of approaching New Hampshire on their own terms, the experts say a strategy that doesn't go all in on the early states can be risky.
Simply because they're not just first, but they're the first thing that most Americans are going to learn about a lot of these candidates.
Now, we reached out to both the Sanders and Harris campaigns to ask when they might be coming back to New Hampshire. The Sanders campaign did not respond, and the Harris campaign says to expect the senator back in New Hampshire before the end of the month. Live in the studio, Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. We'll have to wait and see. Report, Lynn and Jairus disease resulted in up to 49 cases. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
And we have some breaking news on last summer's Legionnaires' outbreak on Hampton Beach. The state now says there were up to 49 confirmed probable or suspected cases, and 2 deaths are now being blamed on the outbreak, up from 1. The Department of Health and Human Services traced the outbreak to a hot tub at the Sands Resort. Last summer, the resort's owner telling WMUR he hired professional cleaners, and the building is now free of the bacteria.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. In switching gears now, let's go on over to weather. Weather right now is overcast, 34 degrees. And your weather for tonight, light rain mixing with light snow before ending, low near 30 degrees. Your weather for tomorrow, lingering clouds, a few breaks, and cool, highs in the mid-40s. And for tomorrow night, partial clearing and chilly, lows in the 20s. And switching gears now, let's go on over into sports. Red Sox stumble in home opener, falling into Toronto 7-5. Red Sox fans say they're ready for another championship. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Put your socks on. The champs are back in town.
Red Sox!
If you want to look the part, you gotta start early.
We did a face paint starting early at 5 a.m. this morning with passion. We can't wait to start for opening day. We're so happy to be here.
Get your game day programs here, $2, guys. You get a free copy of the World Series edition with every purchase.
The 108th home opener at Fenway Park is a tradition for so many Granite Staters.
This is our 29th in a row. We've never missed one. Yep.
With a 3-8 record coming into today, Boston is off to a slow start. But the Red Sox faithful are not concerned.
It makes it more interesting. Now they'll win more and we'll be good.
I like that attitude.
We'll be good. Oh, we're going to be fine. They'll win another World Series. Patriots will win another Super Bowl. We'll be good.
It's a little slow, but it's just the beginning of the season. It doesn't mean much right now. I think we got a championship team again.
This fan base is spoiled. Today, celebrating a 4th championship in 14 years. And in New England, that begs the question, can this team do it again?
I'm feeling optimistic. They're going to do awesome again. Hopefully come home with another ring.
Very, very fun to watch.
Do you think it was the best team ever?
I think so. And I hope they do it again this year.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. We'll have to keep our eyes on. And switching gears now, let's go on into your arts and entertainment. First, we're gonna watch this video. Claremont Evelyn Cormier advances to top 14 on American Idol. Let's watch the video and report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my entertainment news report right here on the Riley King Network. Take a look at this photo right here of Evelyn Cormier and Chris Isaac on American Idol. Claremont's Evelyn Cormier advanced to top 14 on American Idol. Cormier impressed judges with all-star duet. Evelyn Cormier cleared a major hurdle on American Idol on Monday night. The Claremont resident is moving on to the next round of just 14 contenders after impressing the judges again last night with her all-star duet with singer Chris Isaac, singing his hit song Wicked Games, the same song she sang when she auditioned for the competition. Watch Cormier compete live next Monday on WMUR when voting will be open to the public. And we're all excited and can't wait to watch Monday's episode. And all of us here at the Riley King Network and here in New Hampshire are cheering Evelyn Cormier on. Go Evelyn Cormier. Can't wait to watch Monday's episode of American Idol. And that is it for my entertainment news report right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great night, everyone. Goodbye.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. In some more exciting news, Mike Morin joins Biddy Media for new morning show on Frank FM. Let's take a look at this video.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my entertainment news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Look who's coming back to the airwaves and on the radio. Mike Morin joins Benny Media for new morning show on Frank FM. Benny Media has added New Hampshire radio legend Mike Morin to their already reboosted lineup of talented DJs with the announcement of a brand new morning show on their classic hits station Frank FM. Though the show may be new, the two voices of Manchester's newest morning show duo are anything but. Mike will be teamed up with Lori D, a Granite State radio legend in her own right. Mike Morin and Lori D will debut Morin in the Morning with Lori D on 106.3/99.1 Frank FM starting Monday, April 15th. The return of Mike Morin to Manchester, New Hampshire radio represents a major commitment by Benny Media to take the new Frank FM straight to the top. Mike's legendary history includes stints in Detroit, Toledo, and Washington, D.C. radio before coming to Boston, where he hosted the Morning Zoo on 94.5 WZOU. Later, Mike landed the morning show at 93.7 WCG Boston, 106.3 WHOB Nashua, and most recently was host of New Hampshire in the Morning at WZID Manchester. Mike was a co-host of Candlepine Stars and Strikes on Channel 50 TV and is a regular contributor to New Hampshire Magazine. He has written 2 books about his famed radio career, TV's Golden Age of Candlepin Bowling, and is currently writing a 3rd book about the history of the iconic Seacoast radio station 98.7 The Bay. She began her career in Boston at KISS 108 and later joined WHEB in Portsmouth as their midday host for many years. Lori does a lot for the community, especially with animal shelters and her annual commitments to NH Public Television. Benny Media is the largest independently owned media company in New Hampshire. They specialize in radio, digital, and outdoor billboard marketing. And we are all excited to listen in and tune in for the new morning show on 106.3 Frank FM with Mike Morin and Lori D. We're all excited here at the Riley King Network and at the Riley King Radio Network. We wish both of them the very best on the morning show. And that is it for my entertainment news report right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great night, everyone. Goodbye.
Okay, and there you go. And all of us are very excited. We can't wait to tune in on Monday for the new morning show on Frank FM. Restaurant dishes labeled gluten-free often are not steady finds. Take a look at this article in Union Leader. And I hope you enjoyed reading that article. If you want to see that article again, we will have it on the Riley King Network for you. We'll have a link for you. And now let's see what type of events are happening tomorrow in New Hampshire. Summer Art Camp registration now open all day at UNH Museum of Art. Color-a-thon final week to register online at 12 o'clock a.m. David Crowley Middle School. Turning stress to energy, 6:30 a.m. at Brookville Pines Farm. The 48th Annual New Hampshire Safety and Health Conference, 8 o'clock a.m. at Radisson Hotel. Beginner Magic Class, 8 o'clock a.m. at Keene State College, Redfern Arts Center. And clothing drive, Stevens Buswell Community Center all day. And those are a look at events happening tomorrow in New Hampshire. And that is it for Good Evening New Hampshire right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great evening. See you back here tomorrow night with another edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. Good night, everyone. Bye.